Okay, so why is it the first thing you recommend upgrading first being the lighting package? Why not say getting televisions, or if you do that, or maybe upgrading trussing or doing other like maybe giveaways of that? Why you think is lighting is the most important,
Yeah.
other than
So
changing a room,
yeah.
obviously.
So I think not. I believe that lighting is something that's the most important to your value. So you can upgrade to live musicians. I am such an advocate for live musicians. If you can do it, it is spectacular. At first, I was very hesitant to add live music to our packages, but I've worked with some crazy musicians who just, whether they're on guitar, saxophone, percussion, they're out of this world, and they are just fantastic. So if you can do something like that, highly recommend it. But here's the catch 22 of that: when you're hiring someone with such a enormous talent or something that's so specialized, you're going to have to pay for that. And the more you do, the higher your price goes up. So when it comes to lighting, you're getting technology, you're getting something that's completely room changing, and something that is really, it's really doable for a lot of people, and something that they kind of appreciate a little bit more than, say, like a cloud machine, which is fantastic for first dance, but they feel like they may not be getting as much value out of that. Now, you can do something like sparkler fountains, which have become all the rage since maybe 2, 3 years now.
Hmm.
And I highly recommend those, but those units are very expensive, and that's something that does come at a cost. So that's why the first thing I do tend to go to is lighting, because it seems to be the most bang for your buck. You really appreciate it, enhances the room, and you can walk away saying, okay, that was definitely worth it.
And do you find that most brides, when you do tell them that, they usually do end up upgrading, or they'll kind of just like brush it off their shoulder and more or less go with the sparkler fountains and cloud, for example?
Yeah, so often I do see that it's brides choosing to do lighting. They do tend to go with it unless their room already offers something, or they really believe at the end of the day, they're like, our room, it's not, nothing's really going to change too much if we change the lighting. If you're in a smaller room, like, because you're more of a rustic feel, maybe, that lighting isn't the right option for you. And that's fine. It's understandable. But when it comes to the sparkler fountains, we do tend to see that people are going with the sparkler fountains and the lighting enhancement, because they don't want to feel left without one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Um, and with the intelligent lighting, you can do spotlight first dances, or, you can really highlight an aspect of the room. And, you know, if you've got the sparkler fountains going and you've got all these lights and everything working, cooperatively, it's really some production out there.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I've always wondered, like, when a client comes to the DJ, it is when you talk to them about the intelligent lighting, is that something they're always on board for, or if they're kind of in between about, and you kind of have to really show them or convince them. But I mean, all the weddings we've done together, the lighting has just been on point. We've really rocked some parties. We've really changed the ambiance of the room. Once the dinner is served and it's time to get up and dance, the lighting can really change the whole vibe of the room. The music may be great, and if you got lights that are bouncing to the music and getting people off out of their seats on the dance floor, I think it's a huge bonus. So there's a lot of times where there's like this unspoken timeline of how a bride and groom should go about looking for their vendors. Usually they start with the venue and the date, and then move on to photographer, and then so on and so forth, right? And then usually DJ will fall in not too far after the photographer, or sometimes in some cases they're one of the last ones, or maybe they're the first one. So what is your best advice to booking a DJ, and how far in advance should it be usually?
Yeah, and that's such a great question to ask, because everyone's got different timelines for their wedding. Some people are planning their wedding in 6 months to a year, and some people are going up to 2 years, 2.5 years in advance. I was meeting people at the bridal show we did this year, and they're getting married in July of 2022. That's 2.5 years to plan.
Mhm.
So if you have all the time in the world to plan, or you believe that you have all the time in the world to plan, book your talent as early as you can. Do the research, take your time with it, but make sure you get the best available talent. Now, the closer you usually get to your date, and more so during the prime seasons like the fall, or late summer, that Labor Day type of area, you really find that the talent pool gets stretched. So if you're looking for the owner of the company, or if you're looking for the face of the operation, you really want to book that as early as you can. Now, it's not to mean that the talent pool with the rest of the team is any lesser. It's that, you usually feel more of a comfort with the owner and the face of the company. So it's really, in my opinion, important that if you can book the person you really truly want about a year to a year and a half out.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think that's really important for people to know that, there is the process with working with a DJ is just as crucial and just as important and just as long as working with a photographer, and or a videographer or a florist or a stationery shop, all of these aspects of the wedding day are key points to making it the best it possibly can be. So don't leave the DJ for the back burner. Don't leave the photographer for the back burner. Don't leave anybody for the back burner. Everyone should have the same amount of importance as the next guy does, and so that you're not feeling rushed, and B, if there's something that you need to schedule later on for financial reasons, you're not waiting till 4 months before your wedding to book one of the key aspects of your wedding day and whatever the key aspect may be.
Right. And that's a great point. If I may touch on that real quick, talking about a lot of people hold off because they're not sure if they can financially be responsible for it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk with your vendors. See if you can work out a payment plan with them. See if you can work out ways to really maximize your budget, because there are ways we can work with you. A lot of people feel like if they're booking a $3,000, $4,000 package, that they have to pay it all up front, or really have to save up all the way to the end. Stretch it out. Just like anything in life, it's a lot easier to make things over time, as opposed to big chunks all in one period.
Right. No, I'm all about the payment plan. I love the payment plan. I think the payment plan is a great idea. I offer it to all of my clients. And I do have to say, ever since I started implementing that into my business, I have booked more weddings than not, because I'm able to say, okay, listen, I understand your situation. I understand that finances are a thing. And I want you to feel comfortable and be able to afford what you want for your wedding, but also be able to put food on the table for your family. So in that case, let's set up a payment plan. And if you reach out to your vendor and they say, hey, listen, or your venue, your DJ, your florist, whoever it may be, say, listen, we love you, we want to work with you, can we set up some sort of payment plan? I don't see them saying no. It may not be the ideal payment plan that you want, but if they can get you on something, it's better than nothing in the end. So is there any other advice you can give to a bride and groom starting to do research for their DJ, for their venue, or for their wedding? What is some advice you might have for them when planning?
Yeah. So I think it's super important you find a DJ who really is someone who can match your preferences. If you're looking for a DJ that's more hip hop oriented, go with a DJ who's more hip hop oriented. If you can find a company where they're still playing a lot of EDM or a lot of house remixes, go with them. If you're looking for that vibe, find someone who matches that aesthetic. And that's the word that I constantly come back to with clients, that their aesthetic. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a nightclub style scene? Or are you looking for, you're having a tent wedding in September with your closest friends and family? What are you really looking for? So when it comes to your DJ, look at their pictures, see what they're about, see if you can find sample mixes about them. I know that's one thing that clients often are hesitant about. They're like, I don't know, are you going to be able to mix all these songs? Can you do this? Can you do that? I would say, I think it's so important if I could send you over a sample mix, show us how we mix songs together. If you have a few songs that you kind of envision the night, please let me show you. Let us show you what we can do, because you're hiring a complete stranger. You're a complete stranger to us. We're complete strangers to you. And you need to build that confidence that that person is going to deliver what you're looking for.
Right. And that's so key in planning any wedding. Doing your research is the most important thing that I can say about a wedding planning process. Is do your research, because if you just wing it, you're not going to get as lucky as you do if you do research. The DJ, like you said, EDM, most DJs will do house remix EDMs and then there's other DJs who will do everything, and as long as you let your DJ know, at least I find, if you let the person know what type of music you want, it's never a problem to accomplish it, unless they come back and say, no, we don't specialize in that, which I kind of find it hard to believe the DJ wouldn't be able to get the style of music that a client wants, but I'm sure there are those out there that don't.
Yeah. We do run into that sometimes. We certainly do. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
that's okay.
I always tell everybody we're open format DJs, but sometimes people have a lot of cultural requests and very specific cultural songs. Now, while we can play certain amounts, and if you give us the guidance and fully trust that we'll deliver and mix them properly, we got you covered. Because we often do have weddings where, whether they have like a Chinese background or a lot of Arabic weddings, they tend to give us the music that they really enjoy. And here are 10 songs that we know our family's going to go crazy for. We got you covered. That's fine. But if you're looking for a whole night where it's kind of like, you want us to really match your background, we may not be the perfect fit for you depending on what you're looking for. So, as you're saying, that's something that's really essential.
Right. Now, is there anything that maybe you guys, so, okay, let me put it this way. So there is, a bride comes to you and says, hey, we want, we want this set of songs, or we want, we want you to play this type of music. How does your company go about accommodating that for the brides and grooms that come to you?
Yeah, so that's the most popular thing that happens. I have some brides who give. I've had a bride who's given me 300 song requests, and then I have brides and grooms who give me 3 song requests. So what we do, what we have set up for all of our clients, we have an online event portal that everyone can access. Now, what you do is you get a login and a password, and you go in and you can literally drag and drop all of your must plays, play if requested, do not plays, special requests, and special songs. So if you're in this system, you can go in there and say, I've got to hear Nicki Minaj in this track, or I've got to hear some David Bowie here at this time, and shout out my best friend who's going to be in the back of the room because this was our song growing up. We really try and give people the opportunity to be as personal and expressive as they can, because that's something that's just so important. Because if you're not hearing what you want, it's you're going to be missing out on some things. Now, I do tell everybody we appreciate that you respect our professional input on everything, and that's not us disregarding what you're asking for. We just like to say that sometimes your guests may want to hear something a little bit different than what's exactly on your request list, which isn't a problem. It's not to be insulting. It's just, sometimes we'll take care of it and we'll come back to it. I promise we will. But if there's something that brides and grooms can feel comfortable with, is that your song requests and your music choices never are taken lightly. We always take them with the utmost respect and importance to us. So, we really try and cover as much as we can.
No, that's really a good thing that you bring up, because I feel that sometimes people don't know that they have that ability. Again, it goes back to the whole, we are here for you and it's your wedding day. So we're going to do what we can to make you happy. And if it comes down to your song request, so be it. I think that's a key factor that people need to know, is that you have the ability to pre-request your songs for the wedding day, so you kind of have an idea of what the DJ you are expecting music wise, as even when it comes to music, as far as the more formalities of a wedding day. No, that's really important. I think it's a good idea that you guys do that and you're able to connect on that level with the bride and groom. So Tyler, where can people find you? What is your social media, your website, all of that cool stuff? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so if you're looking for us, we are currently on The Knot. So if you want to find us on The Knot, Treble and Bass Productions on The Knot. We're on Facebook, Treble and Bass NJ, and the same thing with Instagram. We are at Treble and Bass NJ. So it's Treble AND Bass NJ on Instagram. So if you want to find us there, you can check us out on all those platforms. I apologize, I'm getting better with social media, but I'll get there one day. I'm just not. I always tell everybody I get so caught up, and this sounds so cliche and tacky, but I really do get caught up in so much of the event that I just forget to take pictures and video. You know what I mean? I'm just looking, and I'm like, oh, I just missed a prime opportunity to get video. I'm like, great. But, that's why I say it's so important. I'll send you over sample mixes. I'm sorry that I don't capture it all in video. I will send you over what we do, I promise.
And that's why you have a photo video team.
That's why you need to hire Tom Russo. That's why.
Well, Tyler, thank you so much for taking some time tonight for interviewing with me. Guys, this wraps up our next episode of TRP Pro Tips. And again, Tyler, thank you so much. I'll be linking all of his information at the bottom of this video, and you guys reach out to him for all your DJ needs. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Talk to you later. Bye.